So after I got done with The Big Short, I went straight away to another movie theater in our town and I saw Brooklyn. And to be honest, I think I like Brooklyn better. Okay, Brooklyn is a very simple premise, so let me get through this really quickly. It's about a young Irish girl, played marvelously by Saoirse Ronan. Now, in Ireland, her character doesn't really have much to live for in her town. She has a dead-end job, she doesn't have any possible love interests, but she's given the opportunity to go to another world, to go to America, to make a new life for herself. And so she does. But through certain circumstances, I'm not going to spoil or give away, something happens that causes her to be conflicted on whether she should be in Ireland or America. At the movie's core, it is two different genres. It's about an immigrant girl and it deals with all the problems of being homesick as well as having to deal with a new life in a new country. But it is also a romance. That's right, she falls in love and guess what? Because it's a romance, it's also a love triangle. But to be honest, I don't feel like the love triangle was just sort of thrown in there. It feels natural, it feels like that's what this movie needed. It makes complete sense. And it helps balance her conflicts on whether she should be in Ireland or America. Of course, there's more to it than just the love interests. She definitely has other reasons to be conflicted on whether she should be in America or Ireland, but some of the more prominent things is the love triangle. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not big on romance, but when it's done right, I can really appreciate it. And it is done right in Brooklyn. Now, it's yet another one of those dramas that's a little bit more subtle on its drama, as well as some of the themes it goes through and some of the motives of the characters. So I can totally see people going into it thinking there's no story, or thinking, oh, this really isn't that great of a dramatic piece. Why did I go see this and why is this nominated? And with that being said, I wish there was a little bit more fleshing out, but for the most part, it is completely great, and I felt that it was a really good drama. The best part of this movie is Saoirse Ronan, because she is incredible in this movie. I might have liked her performance more than Brie Larson's performance in Room. I have to be honest with you, I think she's more deserving than Brie Larson, and I thought Brie Larson was magnificent. But maybe it's because Brie Larson wasn't the central character in Room. She may have been the best part of Room, but she wasn't the central character, while as Saoirse Ronan is not only the best part of Brooklyn, but also the central character. So maybe that's why I like her a little bit more than Brie Larson. Or maybe because her depictions of a coming-of-age story where she's a bit of a shy girl at first and then she comes out of her shell, she pulls herself out of homesickness and she becomes a better person, and maybe her growth as a character is what made her really unique in this film over Brie Larson's character. Similar to Room, all the supporting actors and actresses in this movie were also really great as well. Jim Broadbent comes into this movie as the priest in Brooklyn that helps her get to America. Domhnall Gleeson appears again in a movie as part of the love triangle. I thought the woman who played Saoirse Ronan's sister, Rose, I thought she did a really great job in this movie as well. Her name is Fiona Glascott. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Last name Glascott. It's also set in the 50s era, so it's very bright, it's very colorful. There's a really great color palette to this film that just really makes it stand out. I think the film just has a really great likability to it. Like, the characters are just likable. The movie, it's just a likable film. So that's probably why it has such a high percentage for both audience and critics. It's just, all you need to do is give it a good enough score to like it, and it adds to the percentage. And I think this is just one of those really likable movies. Now, do I think it's perfect? No. For one, even though the characters are really likable throughout the film, it just feels like they're a little unrealistic. Like, so many of the characters are just plain nice, and There's not really any antagonist in the film other than one girl in Ireland, like the one old lady that used to be her boss in Ireland. She's the only real mean person of the film. There might even be some people that are sort of mean in Brooklyn, but they have a likability to them. Like these two women, they're like the gossip people in the boarding house. But they're kind of fun and funny in that way, and they're likable despite them being the characters that gossip and look down on people. With there only being one person that's actually mean and nasty, it's kind of hard to believe that because everyone seems just so perfect in this film. Like many other cliches that happen for romance films with perfect people. I also feel that even though Saoirse Ronan's character is a very strong, really likable lead, I think there are moments where it feels like she's not as strong as most central characters should be. Like there are a few moments throughout the movie where it feels like she's just going along with the flow. Like I get that she's a more shy character, and it makes sense towards the beginning of the film where she just goes along with it and then comes out as her own character by the end of it, like a coming of age story. But towards the end of the film, when she's really conflicted on whether she should be in America or Ireland, it feels like she was pushed to her decision because of one event which I'm not going to spoil. And sure, you can make the argument that maybe she was already intentioning to be in a certain place, and she does give a speech that makes her a strong woman, but at the same time it feels like it wasn't until that decision that made her finally push to a decision. And so in a way, that antagonist character is the one that made her decision for her. But other than that little event, I feel like she's a really amazing character. And again, wonderfully acted by Saoirse Ronan. So again, do I think this is a perfect film? No. Do I think this is a 5-star film? No. But I feel this is a really likable film. If you love romances and you like movies that deal with an immigrant having to deal with the new country, then I think you should go ahead and give this movie a try. You will most likely like it. You might not love it, but you'll like it at least. So go ahead and try it, because for me, Brooklyn is an easy 4 stars. It's in the middle again. It's another movie that's in the middle between 4 stars and 4.5. But it's closer to 4. So, have you seen Brooklyn? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your favorite either romance film or a film dealing with an immigrant having to go to a new country? As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.